That's bad.
Alright, today we are getting back to work on the Turbo LS4 Fiero. But first, I need to clean this shop. This place is a mess. Get a quick look at the before. Boxes and junk and tools everywhere. And I'm good. Alright, I'm good. Hurt my hand a little bit, but shop is clean-ish. It's relatively, it's clean enough for me. Believe it or not, it's already the next day. That took so long. I just have to take care of those and that battery and get all this junk out of here, all the boxes and the trash and scrap and stuff. But everywhere else is looking pretty good. We got some workspaces again, more places we can store stuff. All right, so moving on to the Fiero. I don't really remember where we left off on this thing because we've been doing a lot of side quests lately. I know that the last things we did was we took it over to Pops' place and redid the brake lines, so you can see this beauty there. I got the new clutch lines and the new slave cylinder and everything on it, so clutch and brakes are good. We still need to figure out our mystery on how we're going to hook up the shift cables with this intake. Might not be able to use this intake, which would be a bummer, and I don't remember. Ow! That was very, very pointy. Can't remember if I ever put the spark plugs in back here. Pretty sure I did. Yeah, I did. Okay. So, gotta get coil pack in place. Cut myself. Gotta get the coil pack in place, which gonna have to modify that a little bit. I need to find the map sensor from the RX-7. We'll just toss that in here. It's one of the EFI source 3 bars. This is chassis wiring for, I think, the alternator maybe. So we're probably not going to be using those. In this box, you know, we can open this. This is the main thing that we've been waiting for the last 7 years on this car. There we go. Kind of hard to pick up one-handed. So here is our starter. All right. Here is our machined block. This is what we've been waiting for so long. And here's our starter. The equally crucial portion of the build. Oops. Over-tightening a battery terminal could result in misalignment of the solenoid and absolutely ruin your life. That is true. That is true. What a nice starter. All right, before installation, consult your physician. How nice are those stickers? So, here is the block that comes with the starter. And we need to take that off, bolt on our block in a very particular fashion. I'm sure it matters. It's gotta matter, right? Oh, my wrist popped. Wow. All right. Let's get a little leverage on it. Come out of there. You rascal. Get out of there. Yeah, I have a... I hate saying my goals out loud, because then it commits me to them. And if there's one thing I hate, it's commitment. I have a loose goal in mind for the Fiero, like a deadline, and that is the Father's Day car show at Charlton Park in Hastings, Michigan. That is where I want to, or that is like the deadline for when I want to have the car done and like completely drivable. so that Jess can drive the car there. The Skylark, I think I could throw together pretty quickly. Like I said in the last video, one of the last videos, it's more or less the same as the S10. And the S10 took about 4 weeks to put together. And worst case scenario, I could just drive the S10. I'm hoping that Pops will still have jack together so we can take that too. There we go. So that is loosely my hope there. Are you going to go like that? Or are you going to go like that? Does it matter? But yeah, whatever day Father's Day is, I feel like I should know that, but I don't. I think it's like June? July? No. I don't know, man. Anyway, that is the deadline for getting the Fiero together. I gotta look it up. June 18th. How long until June 18th? 150 days. So I think we've got time. Justin Pickard, who I actually got this starter from his dad, Gary Pickard. Pickard Performance. Go check them out on Facebook if you're even remotely interested in Fieros, especially if you're interested in LS4 Fieros. They have Justin's car, which is probably one of the nastiest turbo LS4 Fieros on the planet. Odds are, if you follow Holly on Instagram, you've seen it. It's the gray one. They're redoing a bunch of stuff on it. The car is amazing. I was talking to him the other day, and I told him that his car made me want to completely redo the exhaust on my Fiero, or, well, I guess my wife's Fiero, because it's just so nasty. I think we're good. Starter wire will come from, here's the battery wire. Nice and easy to get to. Theoretically, I don't think we'll need shims, but hey, we've got them. Did you guys know that there's a correct way to put on these flat washers? One side is always like more smooth, more shiny, and it usually has like a rounded, a beveled edge. That's usually the side that you're supposed to want to go under the head of the bolt. Now, I've got no problem doing it either way, but ever since I learned that, I have tried to put it on somewhat the correct way. Anyway, the fuck was I saying? Oh yeah, Justin's car. So on Justin's car, he's using F40 transmission, and he has his turbo kind of like in this area. So let's see, I think his inlet is facing this way. So his exhaust is kind of looping around like this and then coming up here in like a teardrop, kind of like I had on the RX-7. And it's just so cool, man. His is also a GT, so it has kind of like the fastback look to it. So yeah, I was really like stupidly tempted. Like, man, I could turn this thing around and have the exhaust come up in the middle and do something kind of rowdy, but no. I gotta remember who's gonna be driving this thing. So, yeah, we can get the car jacked up now. I can start throwing the starter on it, get that hopefully wired up. I'm not sure where I have, if it's in this mess. I don't think it's in this mess. Somewhere is the starter switch wire, solenoid wire. I don't have any clue where though right now. There it is. Alright, that's down there, so we're good. it's in the neighborhood. Get this thing jacked up, lay under it on this cold ass concrete, and start getting this thing thrown on. Alright, starter, look at that little cutie there. It's not wired up yet because I need to extend a couple wires and put an end on the battery cable, but it's on there and it's bolted up and it looks like it's gonna be pretty good. Pretty good. So I think the rest of the work that I'm going to do under the car, I'm probably going to move it over to the hoist. I don't know if I'm going to do that today, but yeah, I think that's probably what I'm going to do is move the car over to the hoist and try to get most of the stuff knocked out. I know that there's a couple things that I need to alter, change on it, and modify. And then, ooh, I don't think I showed you guys these fancy brackets that I got to mount the computer. I gotta do something about the intake. Probably. As much as I like this intake, and these ones make decent power, I I mean, I think their power band is like 4,000 to 6,500, something like that. It's the original one that was on the RX-7 when it went 9.5 at 140. And then I redid it with the Holley intake. And with that, it made its best mile an hour. But yeah, with this one, this is a pretty good intake. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it doesn't look like it's going to work on this car with this setup. I've got the TBSS intake, the bread box that I could toss on it. And that's about this tall, give or take, which I think might clear the deck lid, mayhaps. I don't really know. I'm pretty sure people, it might not actually, now that I'm thinking about it. What I might have to do is find a way to just flip this intake around and see if I can run the piping, like put a hole through this maybe. I don't know. As much as I don't really want to do that, it would make the wiring harness fit better. I don't know if the throttle body would clear the strut tower completely. That's one thing that's nice about LS's is you can flip the intake backwards without really any trouble. So let's see. From the edge of the head to the edge of the throttle body, that's not a good measurement. Edge of the head to the edge of the throttle body is about 4 inches, give or take. So let's see, that would be from this head. So that would be, that would put it right about in here. So it might clear this. The only thing that would possibly hit is the throttle linkage, I guess. So that might be something we end up doing. I'm going to turn the intake around real quick to check and see, because that might just be what we end up doing. Yeah, because there aren't, like, I could put the stock LS4 intake back on it, but those, God, they just kill so much power. I bet between this one and the stock LS4 one, because the advantage of that one is it does kick the throttle body up on an angle a little bit, so it would clear these. But I bet that intake robs probably close to 100 horsepower, because like it has just the tiniest little throttle opening. Like you can see it almost cuts it in half right there, man. And then it exposes all the wiring too. It makes that hideous. Which I can clean that up a little bit and make it not so bad. Yeah, just for poops and chuckles, let me turn the intake around and take a look at it, see how everything fits then. All right, long story short, no, this will not work. It is just right in there. It's all up in there. And you can see the bolt hole. This needs to come forward and the left like an inch. So, fuck. All right, so naturally the LS4 intake fits great. And you can see I do have the shift cables in place. I need to find the clip for this one. I don't know where that one is, but that one's mostly out of the way. This is the one that I needed to be sure of. So, yeah, maybe I can... Come on, manly hands. There we go. Oh, yeah. Might have to just end up making a clip. We'll see. But yeah, LS4 intake fits great. It doesn't look as bad as I remember. Like, it has all the shit on top of it, which is annoying. But, yeah, I might end up just running that. However, that doesn't cure all of our problems, because while that is up on an angle, you can see it there. Howdy. This still comes in contact with one of the shift cables. So, someone told me that the throttle body, like a manual throttle body off of like a 3.8 car, I think, works. So I'm going to look into that and see if that would work. And just like that, we've come full circle back to the BBK intake. Now, I've come up with a solution that I thought I had the parts to follow through on. And I have spent the last probably 40 minutes just absolutely tearing this place apart, trying to find my aluminum LS 3-bolt to 4-bolt throttle body adapter. Basically, it looks like this, but it comes out more squared off here so that you can run a 4-bolt adapter on a 3-bolt intake. Now my plan was to bolt that up to the intake, cut some pipe that I could then weld to the back side of this, and kind of stand this off about like that wherever I ended up needing it. That was my plan. No idea where that piece is, so kind of SOL on that. You can see this thing's, it's so close, man. It's so close. It's so frustrating. So frustratingly close. Oh, maybe I could just buy one of those adapters and put a 4-bolt throttle body on it. Actually. So I will add that to the list of things I need to get for this car. But that does mean we're a little bit, not really one full step. Maybe like, not really like one of those, but you know, one of those kind of steps closer to this car being done. So I might wrap up the video here. I don't know how long this thing's been going on, and probably get to work on the Skylark, which will be the next video. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, clicking that bell to get the notifications when the videos go up. If you want any merch, all of it helps the channel out. First link in the description below. 10% off at Snake Eater Performance using code Snydertron. 5% off at Shipbox Supply using code Snydertron. And have a good night. See ya.